we need to talk about Sundial Growers, mainly because of all the attention it's been getting and all the people piling into it. We need to sort of figure out why it shot up and why it's been pulling back. Also, trying out the visor of this video, let me know your thoughts on the visor with the like button down below. So the first question I'm going to tackle is Sundial Growers a Reddit stock? And it's a pretty simple question that requires a pretty simple answer. For the most part, yes, Sundial Growers is a Reddit/meme stock. However, that does not make it a bad thing. Just because people on Reddit and regular people like you and me, also known as retail investors, are getting into the stock, full disclosure, I have no exposure to Sundial, just because they're getting into the stock doesn't make it a bad stock. And last time I checked, any publicity is good publicity. So now, the next question of is Sundial Growers a short squeeze will take a little bit longer to answer, and the answer is this: no. I'm well aware that the narrative behind the Wall Street Bets community is the whole idea of fighting evil and taking down hedge funds that are short selling companies and all that fun stuff. And that's great. And yes, a few hedge funds took a pretty decent loss in the GameStop and AMC fiasco. But at this point, the professionals at the hedge funds can pretty much see the rallies coming and pretty much hop on the bandwagon with us. I mean, are you guys aware of that hedge fund that made like $700 million with their GameStop long position? And as far as Sundial Growers is concerned, there's not even that much to squeeze, because currently there's only 5.4% of shares being floated as of January 29th, which was the last reporting day. Honestly, if anything, what we have here is a gamma squeeze. What is a gamma squeeze, you ask? Honestly, you and I, same page. A very basic summary of what a gamma squeeze is basically market makers in the options market hedge their positions in the equity market. So when call options are bought, they are buying a portion of the underlying stock. As those call options increase in value, market makers buy more shares to increase their hedges. And for the most part, a gamma squeeze is most likely what happened to AMC's parabolic rise. Now, don't get me wrong, AMC definitely had a higher short interest, but there are similar mechanics at play with Sundial Growers. Regardless, GameStop has plunged, AMC has plunged, Sundial is pulling back, and there's a realistic possibility that it could continue to fall. Honestly, the problem with Sundial Growers is simple. There's no reason for Sundial Growers to have a market capitalization of $3 billion and have its stock price only be $2. Sundial Growers stock is a fairly risky one. The company remains unprofitable, growth in the company is also relatively muted, and competition in the cannabis market is very stiff. Put simply, there's a lot of work for Sundial to do. And as for the supposed catalyst that the US federal government will legalize cannabis across the board, yes, that is technically going to be a catalyst. Some people are saying that it's already baked into the stock, pun intended, and other people are saying that it might not even happen anytime soon. But even if and when legalization arrives, the company has to figure out how to become profitable in order to be a company that will be here in 2 to 3 years. Because if and when cannabis becomes legal in the United States, Sundial doesn't really have the resources to enter the United States anytime soon. Did the shares of Sundial price get inflated because of the Wall Street Bets rally and just the whole pot stock industry as a whole? Possibly. Yes, that could be a thing. However, one thing that I want to look at before I end this video is I want to look at the charts. I want to look at 4 charts of the heavily traded pot stocks in the past week or so, because I want to show you something that's a little odd. As you can see right now on the screen, you are looking at the 20-day 1-hour chart for Canopy Growth. Now, let's take a look over at Hexo. Notice anything familiar? Next up, we have Tilray. Kind of all looking the same, aren't they? And last but not least, we have Sundial Growers. If you were to overlay all 4 of those charts, they would look pretty much the same. Now, why is that? Well, the most logical explanation that I can think of is simply Wall Street Bets. The idea that everybody in the online community basically just started pumping up pot stocks, and Sundial was an extremely cheap one that just got lumped in with the group. There have been comments on some of my previous videos about Sundial that maybe this was a short down ladder attack, and I'm going to disagree with that because short down ladder attacks only happen in short squeezes. I don't make the rules, I just report them. And last but not least, let's go take a closer look at Sundial and how it's been performing the past few days. I have put in some support and resistance lines, and as you can see today, Friday the 19th, it bounced off that resistance line at about 130, 126, and its next resistance line will be around 175. At the time that I'm filming this at 11:50 on Friday, I just checked, Sundial is at 160 and change. So it clearly bounced off that support line and is heading straight towards the next resistance line of 170. If it breaks that level, or at least closes above 170, I will gladly make another video on where I believe the support and resistance lines are for this stock. Let me know down in the comments below if that's something that interests you. Thank you guys for watching this video, and don't be afraid to subscribe. As always, I will see you guys next video.